Before money became a number, it had weight. Value was something you could hold. Gold, silver, sweat. For centuries, wealth was the reflection of labor. Every coin represented real human effort. Every nation could only spend what it had stored in its vaults. The system was simple, brutal, but predictable. If a government wanted to spend more, it had to mine more, or conquer more. That's how empires were built, fueled by metal and blood. Gold was the heart of trust. There was no printing of wealth, only extraction. Bread cost the same for decades. The economy grew slowly, but it grew truthfully. Then came the 20th century. Machines, electricity, wars. The world produced more than ever and destroyed more than it could pay for. When the wars ended, nations were broke, vaults empty, gold reserves scattered, and the United States, the only country still holding gold, took the throne. In 1944, 44 countries gathered in a small hotel in Bretton Woods. The goal, prevent another collapse. The result, tie the world to the dollar. The dollar became the new gold, and the United States, the new banker of the planet. But every promise has a price, and every anchor eventually breaks. Bretton Woods wasn't just an economic deal. It was a pact of survival. Europe was in ruins, and the world needed stability. The system seemed flawless. The dollar convertible to gold, all other currencies convertible to the dollar. For 2 decades, it worked. The 1950s and 60s were the peak of the American dream. Cheap houses, stable jobs, constant growth. But gold locked in vaults didn't grow as fast as printed money. The US began to overspend. Wars, consumption, credit. The promise that every dollar equaled gold became fiction, and the world started to doubt. In 1971, President Richard Nixon went on television. The United States will suspend the convertibility of the dollar into gold. That night, money stopped being metal and became belief. The gold standard died. The era of infinite promises began. From that point on, wealth had no limits. Governments could print more, banks could lend more, and value stopped being real. It became opinion. Inflation became the invisible tax, the one no one votes for but everyone pays. Prices rose, not because things were scarcer, but because money lost its anchor, scarcity itself. People kept believing hard work was enough. It wasn't. The game had changed. To hide the imbalance, they invented credit, cards, loans, mortgages, a factory of promises. Consumption became the new religion, and debt, the altar. Every dollar printed required someone to owe. Every house sold was another chain disguised as opportunity. Workers produced more but controlled less. Because new money didn't go to wages, it went to those who already owned assets. Inflation started enriching the rich and eroding the rest. Property owners saw prices soar. Wage earners saw value disappear. Inequality stopped being moral. It became structural. It became the system. By the 1990s, money stopped being paper. It became code, spreadsheets, derivatives, digital bets. The real economy, products, sweat, factories, was replaced by the economy of screens. Stock markets boomed, but the base of the pyramid stayed flat. Funds began buying everything: houses, farms, companies. Ordinary people became tenants in their own world. Today in the US, 1 in 7 homes belongs to institutional investors. Corporations worth billions buy entire neighborhoods and rent them back to the people who built them. The house, symbol of stability, became just another line on someone's portfolio. The dream of ownership turned into passive income for someone else. The majority now rents not only their home, but their future. Money no longer flows between people. It circulates among banks, corporations, and governments. You work, they print. When money loses value, they own more, because the value lies in assets, not in time. The financial elite found a new form of power, not controlling what you buy, but controlling what you believe is possible to own. Now we enter the final stage, the subscription economy. You don't buy, you rent. You don't own, you access. You don't have possessions, you have permission. They call it sustainability. Its real name is dependency. By 2035, you may own nothing. Your car will be shared. Your home will belong to a fund. Your data will be property, but not yours. The slogan will be, "Don't worry. You don't need to own. Just use." But what you use can be taken away. Every monetary empire begins with faith. And every empire falls when faith runs out. The gold standard collapsed when the metal disappeared. The dollar standard will collapse when belief does. Every crisis, 2008, 2020, 2023, is another crack in the dam. And every time the system starts to break, the answer is the same. Print more. The cure is the poison. One day, money will lose what little meaning it has left, and the world will realize that promises cannot feed anyone. They told you owning a home was the symbol of success, but success was redefined to fit inside the pockets of a few. The new success is survival, owing nothing, understanding the game before it consumes you. Maybe true wealth isn't having more, but depending less. Maybe the new gold is time, autonomy, awareness. You are taught to believe the system works for you, but maybe you're the one working for it. While people dream of owning homes, the owners of the system are buying the planet. You will own nothing, not because you can't, but because the system discovered it's more profitable when you never do. You will own nothing unless you understand why.